much. I'm glad to be here today. I was very honored when Donna sent me a message and asked me to do this. First, I'm going to tell you just a little bit about me before I start. My story I call was my journey because it was a journey that I went through. As she has stated, my name is Lori Holmes. I am a daughter to some wonderful parents, a sister, a wife of 9 years to my wonderful husband, DJ Holmes, a mother of two wonderful children, Darius and Maya, and a 1-year breast cancer survivor, all at the age of 31. I want to tell you how my journey started. My husband DJ and I welcomed our beautiful daughter Maya into this world on October 18, 2013, which made our family complete since we have a son, Darius, who was 7 at the time. About 3 weeks after Maya was born, I found a lump in my left breast. Since I was due to go back to the doctor for my post-op from delivery, I waited and he checked it out and said that it felt like a swollen milk gland. Well, since I just had a baby, I said, okay. DJ and I were happy to hear that news, but when a month went by and the lump was still there, I went back to my doctor and he said that it felt like a pencil eraser sized cyst. I thought it was bigger than that. And he told me I could wait 4 to 6 months or get an ultrasound. I opted for the ultrasound, which I had done on December 19, 2013. The radiologist that day told me that I needed to go to the UVA Breast Care Center in Charlottesville. I went there on December 31st and they did 2 ultrasounds and a mammogram. After the second ultrasound, they went out and got my husband and went into the room to wait for the doctor to come in. When she came in with another doctor, they both said, it looks like cancer, so we need to do a biopsy to make sure. On January 2nd, what a wonderful thing to bring in the new year. I had the biopsy done, and the next day, January 3rd, I got the news. I had breast cancer. Really, me, at the age of 30? How would we tell our son Darius? We struggle with that part. We told him that mommy had a spot that she needed to take medicine for so it would go away, and that medicine would make her hair fall out. When we told him that, all he said was, okay. He never asked any questions. In fact, this is going to be new to him since we never went in depth with him about it. In January 2014, I had a lot of appointments, including a bone scan, pelvic abdominal scan, breast MRI, genetic testing, which I was negative for, thank God, and 2 surgeries. One surgery was for my Metaport placement, and the other was a sentinel node biopsy, which they removed 2 of my lymph nodes to check to see if it had cancer. Thank God the cancer was just in the one spot. I started my chemo on January 1st at the UVA Hope Care Center in Culpeper. They were a great group. I had to have 6 rounds of ACT chemo every 3 weeks, which is Taxotere, Adriamycin, which everyone calls the Red Devil, and Cytoxin. Each fusion was 4 hours long, so I had to leave my baby girl behind. After my first treatment, the tumor had shrunk 50%. My oncologist was happy with the response like that. On February 6th, which was 2 weeks after my first chemo, I decided to shave my hair off. So my father-in-law did it for me. I had a wig that I got from the American Cancer Society, and I named her Raquel. I thank God the chemo never made me sick. I did have one problem with chemo, but that is TMI, so I won't tell you that. My Metaport always gave me problems from the beginning. And on April 5th, I woke up and my skin was really red at the Metaport site. I waited until Monday and called the Hope Center, and they told me to come in. I went in there. They tried to draw blood, but couldn't get any. Meanwhile, I had my daughter with me and waiting for my parents to get there so that I could get an ultrasound done of the site to see if there was a blood clot or an infection. The doctor told me that it was infected, but wasn't in the bloodstream. Thank God. I had an emergency surgery that evening and had to stay in the hospital for 4 days to get antibiotics by IV. With 2 young kids, that was hard on my family and I. My husband stepped up as Mr. Mom and took Darius to school and then would come to the hospital with Maya and sit with me. That Thursday, the doctors decided to put a PICC line in my arm. Since I only had 2 more treatments to do, I left the hospital that Thursday night. I still had to do antibiotics through the PICC line at home for 7 days, every 8 hours. I had a nurse come in to show me how to hook the antibiotic up and also to flush the PICC line every day. The only bad thing about the PICC line was I couldn't pick up my daughter, so family and friends came and helped me throughout the day. After I had my 5th treatment, which was April 16th, my doctors wanted me to do a breast MRI to see how much the tumor had shrunk. I did the MRI on Sunday, April 27th, and that Monday my doctor called me and said there was no sign of the cancer. Thank God. On May 7th was my last treatment. I had a sign that said, "Hip hip hooray, my last treatment is today." My son Darius also made me a sign for me that said, "Yay for mommy." It was a happy day as I closed that chapter of my journey. Now on to surgery, which I decided along with my doctors to do a lumpectomy followed by 33 radiation treatments. On June 5th, I had the lumpectomy surgery with the wire localization done. I received a phone call from my doctor letting me know that there were clear margins, which means I am cancer-free and in remission. Thank God, another chapter done in my journey. Now on to radiation. I started on July 7th when I got there. I had no idea what to expect. I had one of my friends, Robin Johnson, who I met through my journey, and about how it was since she had been through it. But my surprise, I got to my first radiation and she was there waiting for me. We had never met, and I call her to this day my stalker. It really helped me get through that first radiation. Countdown had begun. I had my last radiation on August 22nd, another chapter closed in my journey. On December 9th of 2014, I went for my first mammogram since surgery and everything was clear. Thank God. I had the 3D Tomo mammogram since I have dense breasts. I go to my oncologist, Dr. Boyer, every 3 months, and my breast specialist, Dr. Showalter, every 6 months, which I also get a breast MRI every June and a mammogram done every December. So next Saturday, please pray for me because I will be going through my breast MRI. I am here to tell you that cancer has no discrimination. I never would have thought at age 30 I would be going through this journey. Know your body and listen to it. Early detection does save lives. My husband's favorite Bible verse is, "I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me," Philippians 4:13. And my dad also always told me through my journey, one day at a time. Before I end my story, I want to thank all of my family, friends, doctors, and nurses, and everyone that I met through my journey. Thank you.